We live.
I can't.
But if you go to my page, you can share it and put the caption you want.
Okay. Let's
There we
see.
go.
Facebook just told me something. Oh no, that's not you.
Yeah, they be hating. It probably ain't me.
There it goes. Oh, my eyes closed. I'm laughing like hard right there in that picture.
Bro, I'm tripping. I hate when I gotta go to my page. I can't. Here we go. Share.
There, I just shared it.
You gotta put a caption and make it seem
Shit.
appealing.
With the same caption I put for everything.
Tune in.
Nope. The little mouth. Emojis are life. It saves me. You know how much I don't like to just talk. So like type actually. I don't like typing. So emojis are everything. I
I
love
gotta
it.
get my emoji game up, but let's get some people up in here. Then we're gonna get it started. How was your day today?
I mean, I worked, you know what I'm saying? I work contracted for USAA during the day, financial specialist, so that's what I do in the daytime. But working from home is where it's at, so can't be
So
mad at it.
you've been working from home since like last March.
I've been working from home for like 2 years.
You've been, yeah, you did say that you've been home. I'm
Hmm.
hey, what's up, Voorhees? This you hear me talking to people over here on the side? That's Facebook. What's up,
Mm,
Voorhees, man? Tap in, tap in. We talking life
Facebook.
insurance today,
About
man.
to open it. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up.
We talking life insurance today, baby.
All right, there we go.
All right, because the comments don't come over here.
True, true.
Let me see what that do. Did the screens move for you?
It says messages from the aunt. Yep, I see it.
There you go. Now you'll be able to see that. It looks good too.
Hmm.
But man, we're gonna go and get started, man. Them people will come in when they come in. If they got a question, we can just go back.
Yeah.
All right, so now, Marlon, this is a guest, Miss Sharice, and she's gonna be the life insurance expert because I got 100 questions. And what this show came about is very impromptu. I saw something on Facebook and it just I've been seeing it for a while and it just hit me, and I was just like, man, where I'm from in Baton Rouge, Marlon, he's from Baton Rouge. It's just you know killings every day, 3 murders
Mm.
in 3 different scenarios around all around the same time. There was a shooting today in the same area. There was a murder yesterday where some adults got killed and a young child got killed. Who is Umar underscore underscore underscore? I don't know who you are. What's up,
He
man?
know you.
I don't know who that is.
Who is Howard Eves? I'm
That's a viewer from Twitch. You know, we're on Twitch and things like that. But it
mm,
was always with the. This been since the beginning of time. I'm 40 now, and it's like somebody get killed or some tragic natural cause. It doesn't have to be a murder. Natural causes, and one of them cats.
yep.
And we call them suppers in Louisiana, where somebody cook food and people come by and buy plates to
Right.
finance a funeral, finance and any sort of event. But as it pertains to like murders and things like that, it's always, the GoFundMe start popping up and things like that. You don't know celebrities, regular people, and just people who need help. And it's just like there's so many different avenues other than these things to raise donations to bury your loved one. And so I got Miss Reese on, the life insurance guru, because she's
I
giving
like
out
that.
great information on Facebook. I've been following her for a while, and and I'm trying to read and think at the same time. I got a lot of questions on life insurances. So as it pertains to, let's start here. When and who should, say for me, example, I know the answer to this question, but I'm asking this, I'm just going to use me.
Mhm.
When should someone get life insurance on you and why?
So, first, my name is Sharice. I have been in selling life insurance for about 3 years now. I'm licensed in 22 states. I have clients. I've been doing this. So, I mean, I'm not just saying stuff right now, but you should get life insurance as soon as possible. If you don't have it, you need to get it. Like it's not something that you can wait on. Do you know what I mean? And I know a lot of people think when they sit down with agents and they tell them that, they're like, oh, they just trying to hurry up and get me to sign this paperwork. They just want me to hurry up and give them some money. They just trying to get paid. But life insurance actually gets more expensive the older you get. So every day you're older, your policy is going to cost you more and more and more. So if you're trying to save money and you waiting until you're like 40, well, now if you would have got your policy at what, 30 years old, because you just found out that that's something you need and you were paying $30 a month, now you waited till you're 40, now you're paying $80 a month. Like, why would you waste your money? Do you know what I'm saying? I'm saying, for example, it does shoot up though, because especially for men are, look, I'm gonna tell you flat out, this is exactly what they tell you when you're learning about policies. Men are dumb. Y'all do dumb things. I don't know why. Y'all jump off buildings and play in pools like that. Like y'all jump off the roof. Y'all want to see who can do what fastest, and y'all die in crazy ways. Like it doesn't make any sense. And so y'all are already more expensive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Black men, especially, all the health problems that you guys carry, it's just it gets to be more pricey the older you get. So the younger you start, the better for your pocket.
That's what's up. So now, when it comes to, now you got to give me the levels of life insurance. Because I be, late night, you be sleeping. This infomercial. Does anyone pre-existing conditions and this, that, and the other? It's like term life, whole life. What are the different levels to insurances, and how does it fit the individual?
So the easiest way to think about it, because everybody and their mama want to be a real estate expert, right? Everybody
Yep.
want real estate. Everybody love real estate. So it's the easiest thing to compare it to. A whole there's like term insurance, and then there is permanent insurance, right?
Right.
Term insurance is more like if you think renting is more for you, and permanent insurance is more like if you think home ownership is for you. So
Right.
that's how you can look at it. If you have a term policy, you're either going to have a basic term or a ROP, which is a return on premium. Those tend to be lower in cost because they're going to cancel eventually, right? They're going to expire. They have a termination date, which is where the
Mhm.
term comes from, right? It terminates. So you pick, like, do you want 10 years, 15, 20, 30, 40, however much you want. They only, actually, they don't let you go to 40. I'm talking, it's 30. Um, but you pick your amount of years. Once you have that locked in, you're going to have a pretty low rate because you're renting. It's not going to cost you as much. And that's going to be your rate until the end of the policy. Once you get to the end of the policy, though, this is why I tell people, if you do value ownership over renting, it makes more sense, because think about it. If I gave you $30 a year for 30 years and I don't die, you just got all my money.
Right.
Now, if I have a permanent policy and I'm giving you this, there are different ways that you can use that money to invest in a policy. It's not necessarily that it's going to all just go and you don't get your money back. Permanent policies have a lot more benefits. They've started adding more benefits to term, like living benefits, where you can kind of pull from it if something happens to you while you're still alive. But for the most part, if you don't die within that set amount of years that you picked, you just gave that money away.
So when it terms, what happens to the money?
The insurance company keeps it. Like, thank you. For instance, think about this. You're in an apartment, right?
Yeah.
At the end of your lease, does the complex give you anything for living there?
No.
If anything, they raise your rent at the end of the lease, no?
Right.
Same thing with the term policy. At the end of your lease, at the end of your term, say you get a 10-year policy. You get it when you're 32, now you're 42. Term is up. All that money is gone. Or you can get it again. You can sign back up just like you do an apartment, right? But now you're paying from age 42. So your policy is going to cost you way more. It's not going to be the same price.
and you're not gonna die. So why would they even offer a term plan? That seems like
Well,
that that's
I mean, you
weak.
gotta think about it. You got an apartment, right? Why would some people look at that? Why would you rent an apartment? You could be owning a home right now. Sometimes it fits your budget. Sometimes it just fits your lifestyle, what you're needing it for at that time. Like I said, they have the ROP. Say you are about to buy a home, right? And you want a life insurance policy to cover that home because if you die while you still owe money on that home, it goes back to the bank.
Right,
But if you have a ROP on it or a term policy on it, whichever you choose, your house gets paid off and it stays in your family, building wealth,
right.
right?
I know someone.
So
I know someone who has that, and I learned that. That's back when I was like 20, and I
word.
I was dating someone, and that's how their dad's policy is set up. It's like
Yeah.
all the cars get paid off and the house.
And that's how it should be because you don't want to lose everything or leave your family in debt. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? It should be that way. And with those with the ROP, at the end of the policy, say you get a 10-year or 20-year ROP, whatever the term of your mortgage is, right? At the
right,
end of your term for your ROP, everything that you put into it, you get it all back. Now it's going to cost you a little bit more than a regular term because it does some extra stuff, but you get all your money back at the end. You can either use that for a balloon payment to pay your mortgage off or
right.
give it to your kids, do something, you know what I mean? Whatever you need to do with it, you get it all back though.
All right. So when you got a whole, what is a whole life insurance?
Whole life policies are permanent, right? So now that's going into permanent. Whole life is
Mhm.
still going to be a type of permanent insurance, but there's two types of whole life. So there's the basic whole life, and then there's a final expense, right?
Mhm.
Basic whole life, that is going to just make sure that you're covered. Sometimes it can earn some sort of interest on it, 2-3%. It differs, it changes depending on the
Right,
policy and what you're doing, but it's not going to earn you too much. It's just going to make sure you're covered. Now, what whole life does is a little different though. It is going to cost you a little bit more since it's permanent, but you're paying into it. By the end of your policy, say you have it from whatever your age is to 99, right? Because that's the whole life. By the time you've reached the end, you've paid that policy up. So it's basically you're paying for your own funeral. You're paying for your own insurance. You're just like paying off a loan.
So 99 is the max. What if you make it past the 99 to 100?
I mean, they give you your money.
Which let's say so. Hold on. So you hit 100 years old, they're gonna cut you a check.
They get your
Damn.
money.
I know. I just seen somewhere a lady had just turned 107. She got her money
Yo,
set. Well, she
if
might.
she has some life insurance,
She has life
that's the
insurance.
thing. You know, you can't go back and fix that. If you didn't do it, you just didn't do it.
Right. So when it comes to life insurance, and I be hearing pre-existing condition, is that life insurance that has pre-existing
Yeah,
conditions
you're right.
that will disqualify you or limit your life insurance? Like, how does that go?
Let me tell you a story. And this is real life stuff. I've been doing this since 2018. So I've seen some stuff. And I talked to a lady. I literally hung up with this lady in tears. No, like, you know, I'm emotional, right? So
Yeah.
I literally hung up with this lady in tears. She wanted a policy for her and her kids so bad to leave them something because she knows she's not going to live much longer. She has a condition that's terminal, can't be fixed, right? Black lady. She's so sweet. I actually met her on Facebook. Met her on Facebook. I called every company I work with. I have like access to a ton of companies, and I'm with a bunch of people, right? Like Mutual of Omaha, National Life Group, Foresters, like all these different insurance companies. I have contracts with them. So called everybody. I tried everybody. She did not qualify for anyone with her condition. It was a flat out no. And
Damn.
she was just sick. She was like, I don't care what I have to pay. I don't care what I have to do. But at that point, it's not about the money. They look at you as a liability
Because if you die, they gotta pay.
and you're going to die soon.
Yeah.
So you put in $50 and they got to give you 300,000.
Right.
That's not a good look for a company. And so they're not going to take you if you have too many things. Now there are some non-medicals, right? You can go to some companies that's non-medical. They'll take you, but they usually cap how much you can get for your death benefit.
Mm. This may be a premature question because I know I want to talk about another. It goes in with a later question I have.
Okay.
So when you pick your policy, okay,
Mhm.
now do you got a gnat in here?
I
bothering me.
see it.
I found a
I almost threw my hand up.
I
Wait a minute.
found a bad onion in my cabinet, and I was like, "This is the problem right here." And I had to
Mhm.
throw the stuff away. Now I'm trying to catch him and kill him. But you get a policy.
Mhm.
I'll say this: my grandmother just passed. My mom passed like 7 8 years ago. So I didn't have to. I've never have to have dealt with the funeral and the cost of a funeral because when my mom passed, my grandmother was here, and when she passed, she has children who took care of that type of stuff. Whatever. My brother come and say, whatever y'all decide, y'all, I'm with it. Do it. Whatever.
Right.
But so say you do this and the cost of a funeral and you have like money left over, what happens then?
The money left over from the policy?
Yeah,
Oh, you keep that. That's for the family.
for the
This is
family.
yeah, this is what happens when you sit down. Well, this was what should happen. Don't look. I don't know who your life insurance agent is, right? Make sure you have a good one. I am available, but this is what happens. So when you sit down with your person, whoever that may be, they're going to do what's called a financial analysis on you, right? They're going to see what your debt to income ratio is, and they're
Right,
going to see what you actually need. So that's why when you always hear someone say, well, how much does this policy cost? How much does a term policy cost? I don't know. I don't know how old you are. I don't know if you're sick. I don't know what you need. I don't know what kind of debt you're in. I don't know if you have a mortgage, if you don't have a mortgage, if you got a job, if you don't. Like, I don't know none of this stuff. So we can't really just look at you and say, that's what this is. However, couple of questions, we can get you a quote and get a basic kind of roundabout answer for you.
right,
So you can't just say like, I want a term, I want 100,000. How much? Like, okay, well, how old are you? Do you have any health conditions that are you on any medications? What are we talking about? What are we working with? And the thing you got to think about is, for instance, and this is the hardest one. So this is what I always tell people. The closest person to you is usually what, your parent or your kid, right? That you
right,
care about the most. Most cases, not everybody, but most cases. If your child died tomorrow, are you getting up and going to work?
right.
You're not finna go.
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna tell you right now, my baby passed away tomorrow. I don't know when. I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I know I ain't gonna be at work talking about thank you for calling USAA.
I might go to work.
I'm not gonna go to work. I'm not. I'm not gonna go to work the day after my baby passed. And the thing that life insurance does is it takes care of your family so that you don't have to do that because jobs don't care about you, man. They give you 3 days bereavement for people.
Right. And then you got to prove it.
You gotta look. It don't make no sense. So if you have life insurance in place, so you have, for instance, I have over $500,000 on me, right? Something happens to me, my mom doesn't have to worry about anything. My kids are okay; they're taken care of. I only got two. If something happens to my kids, they both have $150,000 worth of life insurance on them, right?
Right,
Everybody's taken care of, and everybody is in order. So you're basically just still protecting the people that you love and making sure that they're good even when you're not here.
right. So when you go in when you try to figure out what you want to do and how much you want to do it for, me personally, I probably got something through my job or some bank I bank with. They give you all that type of crap while you in there, or whatever. And so Texas Tour said, I keep life insurance low so my wife won't kill me. But still, but you gotta,
Oh boy,
they gotta live after you, man. You got
I'm
kids.
saying.
But what's the question I got?
You said you probably have something through your
The
job,
person
through
who
your.
the person who do you appoint as like when you go, who's in charge of that?
That's a conversation you have to have. It comes up with so much other stuff that, and I know you said this came to you because of like the community you're from, right?
Right,
The community we're in, we don't like to talk about this kind of stuff. Don't nobody want to set up nothing.
right.
You just like, man, when I'm going, throw me in a box. Like, nobody's throwing you in a box. That's not even a thing. Like, what are you talking about? Like, the
I've
box
never,
ain't free.
I've never been to a pine box funeral. Never.
Look, one, you can't even get a cardboard box for free,
Right.
let alone a casket. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
you have to make sure that the people are taken care of. And if you're going in to look for a policy, like if you're going in and you're like, what do I need to know? What do I need? Tell the truth, because people be lying, and they
Damn.
check. They check everything. You're not finna get away with nothing. These people got MVRs, they got all your medical. They gonna come back. You taking these pills, you didn't tell us. Tell the truth.
Yeah.
If you've ever been diagnosed with anything by a doctor, tell the truth. Just that way you can get a real quote that you can actually afford, and you're not going to waste your time talking to this person for days and days, going through all this approval process just to, at the end of the day, to be like, man, I can't even afford that because you was fronting. Because a lot
Right.
of people like to front and act like they got it when they don't. Just tell the truth. Because
I ain't
your
got it.
agent isn't going to care. Your
I,
agent ain't going to care. They just want to make sure you're covered.
I'm broke. I'm poor. I'm
Lord,
I'm below poverty line.
I'm not going to
But
play with you right now.
now I ran into a situation that was very off putting on me because I'm gonna say this: being that I'm 40, I was
Mm-hmm.
raised by my grandparents, and it was like the old school. We're gonna get life insurance on the kids, even
Mm-hmm.
to my dad's mom had put life insurance on me before. You know what I'm saying? Which I didn't even know. And she had passed or whatever. And then someone called me and was like, hey, you know, she had a life insurance policy out on you and she took a loan out on it. Can you help us pay it back? How I didn't even know you could do that.
You
How does that
can.
work? What is that? What is
So
that? Because that could
this
be
is
that could kind of be a cheat code too, if you know what I'm saying.
uh, are people still doing it though? Probably not, right? I mean, think about it. What people did in
Maybe
the
people
80s,
don't
early
know.
90s. I mean, but people used to put their light bills in their kids' names.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like as a whole, as a community, as a people, we're getting away from doing stuff like that now, right?
Okay.
But what um what happens is the whole life policy that you were asking about, right? Like I said, you basically took out a loan. You're paying it back. By the time you're done, you should have paid whatever the amount of the death benefit is, right?
Right.
So what happens is sometimes I know you hear the term like I took a loan out against my life insurance. I took a loan out. You know what I mean? That is because they had a whole life policy and they borrowed some money from it. They're supposed to pay that money back. And you can get a whole life policy on your kids. You can get a whole life policy on your grandkids. So that does leave room for people being kind of
Yeah.
doing what they do. But I don't know that that happens so much anymore.
Man, you probably be surprised. But I was like, I was like, how you even do that? And
Right. Because you can get a whole life
like,
policy.
but then it goes into looking like I don't know who has policies on me.
Grandparents and parents, you can't just go get now, if somebody has all your information, if you just freely giving it out like that, they can probably do something. But you need personal information to get a policy. Like, and you need signatures and you need proof of you need all that good stuff. So it has to be legit. Like you can't just go out here and just be putting life insurance policies out on people. It don't work that way. And if an agent does something for you, like on a cool, and they like, nah, I got you. You ain't got to worry about that. If something go wrong, they losing their license. They can get fined. All types of stuff can happen. So
They don't be
it's
caring.
yeah, because like I can't even if I wasn't licensed, and you can look me up, you can look up my name, you can look me up on the Texas the Texas Insurance Department of the Texas Department of Insurance. There we go, TDI, and you can find my license number. You can find that it's still active. You can see all 22 states. You know what I mean? Wherever you're looking, that I am actually licensed to do business there, because you're not even allowed to talk about life insurance with people about the policy unless you're licensed.
Right. Man, but that was like I was like, so I'm sitting there thinking like she's gone, my dad's still around, but when I die, where does that policy go? Who getting that money? I don't even know how
Whoever
much
the
it's for.
beneficiary is, you got to check it out. You need to talk to them. Who's the beneficiary on it? Who's the owner now? Did it transfer to me? You can ask those questions. Find out what company it is. You can transfer the agent if you know an agent that works for that company.
Man, listen, I'm old school, and it's like you don't be asking your people. Them, hey, remember that time you said they had a life insurance? Who own
Oh
it now?
wait, who's your friend? Hold on. Alan Stafford. You can only do it with a kid or a grandkid. You can't do it with just anybody.
Ah, okay, okay. I
Yeah,
see.
just a kid or a grandkid. You can't do it with anybody.
Yeah, yeah. Unless they know your information.
Yeah, unless they know your info.
Your spouse can do it, right?
Yeah, and it happens. Don't get me wrong, it happens. It definitely does. But the payout has to make sense, right? So when people say like, "Oh, they gonna kill me and they gonna get all the money," like it doesn't work that way.
Right, right, right.
One, I don't know who all these people are living with, these mastermind criminals that can get away with murder, but usually folks get found out, and usually the spouse is the first person looked at. So that's not going to be the business, you know.
Texas Torres acts like if that's if just say like I outlive everybody and there's life insurance policies out there. He was like, would it go unclaimed and then to the state?
It will go unclaimed and the company keeps it. So what
What?
happens is you gotta have your stuff in order. That's the problem. People don't want to do the work on their own life, yo. Like you gotta keep your wills in order. You gotta keep your beneficiaries up to date. Do you know how many people die and their money goes to their ex-wife or ex-husband because they didn't update a beneficiary? Like, yo, check it. Call your people, check that stuff, keep it up to date. You have to call and keep that stuff up to date. Because think about it. If I got $1 million for you, but I can't contact you or nobody you know, what am I supposed to do with it?
I would hope it would go unclaimed, and because I just recently in the past couple years there's a website you can go and find unclaimed money. My brother has unclaimed money
Yeah.
from there.
But think about how much easier
Hey,
it would
yo,
be
check
if
this
you just
out.
kept your stuff up to date and said, look, you know what? I don't rock with this person no more. Let me switch hey, can you switch my beneficiary? It's literally a phone call.
That's
It's just a
crazy.
phone call.
Now let's talk about this is what I like because I like to do what the other people do with
Okay.
generational wealth,
It
as in
is. See, he knows. It's a pain to
as
get the family to the money.
you know what I'm saying. So you would put but what's so crazy about us in our community, other than the other community, is that like you said, when I die, I don't want nobody to have nothing. That is the dumbest
The
thing
most
I've
selfish.
ever heard anything in my life.
Most selfish.
But it goes okay. So it's gonna be a negative and a positive as it comes to our community because you go. I want to get these policies for this much. I'm gonna pay them. I got my beneficiaries in order, and sometimes your children may be too young, and it has to be. Well, okay. Say this: if you do it and you have a small child, my son's 18, so he will be able to get it outright. But if you have like small children, and then you have to go with the ugly side of death, and there's money out there, and you may have a relative that's just like, I'm not gonna tell them about it. I'm gonna get it, and I'm not gonna tell them about it.
There's
Is there?
ways around that. No, there's ways around that. So what you can do, so like for instance, I have small kids, right? My babies aren't 18 yet.
Right.
But my beneficiary is also my mom, right? So I'm good. But the way that it works is, say for instance, you're in that situation and you don't have somebody that you fully trust. I've had to sit down with a lot of people my age that have baby mama, baby daddy drama, right? They're like, I want to give them some money, but I don't really know that they're going to be responsible. I want to make sure my kids are really going to be good. Like, I don't want to just do this irresponsibly. And what I say to that is, you can break down your beneficiaries. It doesn't have to be 100% to one person. So what
Right.
you can do is say 50% is going to go to her or him, whoever, is going to have custody of your kids, whoever's going to take care of them when you go. Make sure at least 50% goes to them so that they can take care of your kids, because your kids going to a family member or a friend in an environment where they were given $200,000 to take care of them versus them going to a family or friend after they just had a fish fry and they couldn't get all the money together. Now everybody broke and mad and angry, and they got to take these kids. It's
Right.
two totally different experiences in life. You know what I'm saying? So if you make sure that this person has enough money to take care of your kids, make your kids the other beneficiaries and split it 25-25, set up a trust, let them get their money when they're 18.
Because I'm sitting there thinking about, I only have one son, so it's just like when I go, I want him to be straight. And the
Right.
thing, if I'm dead, I don't give a fuck what he does with the money. hopefully I can instill enough for him to do it right. But I'm just like, why don't we? Because you have the conversations with him. Why don't we think like that to where it's like the cliche, I'm worth more dead than alive, and we don't set our people up for success after we're gone.
Because it's not fun to talk about. It's not sexy. It's not cool. It's not like, oh, I'm gonna go buy a house and I have this real estate and this is gonna keep me. And now you can go tell everybody that you rent. You know what I mean? You can't flex on, well, you could, but I don't think people understand how really. It's not popular to flex on a life insurance policy, right? So it's harder to get that across because the thing is this, your policy is your policy is your policy. You have $100,000, then that's what you have. You have 500,000, then that's what you have. But if you go get real estate and the housing market crashes, you could be out.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that you would or you won't, but you could be. Do you know what I'm saying? Like so many
Mm.
things could happen. And I'm not saying do one or the other. I'm saying there's a reason that they have a portfolio for there's a reason. So you
Right.
need different things to make sure that you're straight and covered from all angles.
Right.
So like what I've what I've noticed and why people don't move forward is usually just lack of understanding and they don't want to take the time to sit down and plan out their own life. They procrastinate. I'll do it later. It ain't that important right now. Or they will
Sick and they
just
can't
flat
even do
out
it.
think it's not important. They don't
They,
think it's important.
yeah, then they get sick, and then it's like we can't give you nothing because you sick now. You cancer, and is diabetes on that list?
It is. My ex-husband, perfect example. My ex-husband is not able to get life insurance.
Because he's diabetic.
He's diabetic and he doesn't take care of himself.
He doesn't do what he got to
He
do.
does not take care of himself. So the thing is, he can't, if something happens to him, I mean, that's it. Like there's nothing to cover him with. And it's just, it's a matter of just being responsible. You know what I'm saying? There's something that I learned, like, I want to say 2.5 years ago that tripped me out and I never would have thought about it. You look at our culture, and when I say the culture, I mean like young hip hop culture, whatever we're into, right? Basketball, football, sports, loud, drinking, fun. You know what I'm saying? You look at that when a basketball game comes on, liquor commercials, alcohol commercials, partying, everybody's buying cars, jewelry, all of those things come on during what you're interested in,
Right.
right? Now, put on a golf game. Fidelity Investments comes on for commercials. Life insurance with Mutual of Omaha comes on.
Right.
Different stuff because they know that these people are investing in their lives and they're trying to market to these people. Why don't they think our people need the same thing? We do, but are we trying to hear it?
That's the shit that pisses me off because you be seeing me on Facebook. Have my live rants and just be sitting there thinking. I be triggered by the littlest things,
Right.
especially when it doesn't make any sense and it's just like I can't, I cannot be,
Yeah.
or you can't tell everybody what's the best. Like I'm gonna bring it up because it just hit my head when Chrissy put up the if your primary bank is like Cash App.
Lord, not the Cash App. Oh, you know what though? Side note, let me get in there real quick. You know you can't even get life insurance with a Cash App account or as a Chime account. You can't. I've had people that tried and they don't take that as a form of like a banking institution.
This is off the subject, but why would people even want to? Why do people just help me in what you think? People just, oh, I only got a Cash App, or I only got a Chime because I don't want, or I can't get an account with another bank. I will say this, and somebody said it today. I can't relate to anyone who hasn't lost everything and went and got everything back. I could not get a bank account at Chase. Still can't get one with Bank of America. I couldn't get one with Capital One. I couldn't get one with Wells Fargo. I messed up my Navy Federal account, and I just got that back. But I went and got all those accounts, and I tell people all the time when I talk to them, I'm like, bro, open as many accounts as you can and put money in all of them. because you never know when the disaster happens, and you may mess one up, mess four of them up, but you still got that one. But I'm just like, bro, just work to get you a bank account.
You know what though? If you do mess up your account at all those places, go to Walmart. Go to what is that? Forest something? For I don't know what it is.
Let me tell you,
Walmart got a bank.
let me tell you a funny story about Wolf Forest.
Wood Forest. There we go. Walmart got one. HEB got a bank. Like, yo, get you a bank account. Be a grown up.
Wolf
Get you a bank
Forest would
account.
not give me a bank account, and they are a second chance bank. That's how bad I was. I went in there, went tried to get an account with
Ah!
Wolf Forest. They was like, no. I had to get an account with an institution, and I had to go through the back door. There's ways to get an account to where
No,
it
for
was
sure.
a friend of mine who helped me out. I say, man, I can't get a bank account. Can you get a bank account in your name? And I put my direct deposit in it.
Hmm.
And then after so long, something happened to where, because the thing that I didn't like is that they couldn't see my account, but I could see their account. That's the only thing I
Hmm.
like. But eventually, I couldn't see their account anymore, and now I have an account with the bank.
That's
You
what's up.
know what I'm saying? So
Look, I've been in banking for a minute and I ain't know nothing about that. So
it's the one you with. I went through the back door. I went through the back door because I'm not supposed to be with y'all.
ah, a mess.
But there's
I've
so
had
many.
my account with them since I was 15. So I look,
Yeah,
I'm in
yeah.
there.
I had to go through the back door, but I just, man, people who don't have regular bank accounts, man, and I just want people who are listening, man, learn basic finance.
You have to. And that's the thing, learn. That's the key word, what you just said right there. You have to learn because you can have money in an account, right? And it could just be sitting there. Or you can invest money in an indexed annuity or in an indexed life insurance policy or in something else. And then you could be earning interest off of that and it just be riding. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, I'm not saying put all your like again, I don't want to say this because some people think that when you suggest something, it's either or two things can be true.
Right,
Do you know what I'm saying? Invest in real estate, invest in stock markets, invest in all those things. But the money game and the life game is a long game.
right.
We here. You know what I'm saying? So
And it's,
anything
it's
that you
wins and
invest
losses,
in,
it's ups and downs.
exactly. And anything that you invest in, you're not going to be able to touch your money in a year. Don't let nobody lie to you. If somebody tells you you're going to put your money in here, you're going to be balling next year. Listen, you have to be patient because there are quick ways to earn money, right? But they're not long term and they're usually not viable for you to like base your life off of, right? There was a thing I heard, and it was like it was a quote. I want to say it was a quote. It was like if you build your house on sand, when the storm comes, everything you work for washes away.
Right,
You need a foundation. You need something that's steady and stable and that's not going to change. That's what life insurance does. It's stability. Because think about it. I was a stay-at-home mom for a while, right? I was a stay-at-home wife. That's what I did. If like I'm like it wasn't nothing else. If something would have happened to my ex-husband while we were married, I don't have no job and I have these kids.
right,
You know what I'm saying? I don't have no job and I have these kids. How am I supposed to keep my place? How am I supposed to make it? If something happens to him, I'm messed up and so are the kids. But if
right,
we have life insurance, it comes in and it puts it back up because now I can take care of my kids. They ain't got to change schools. I ain't got to move in with nobody. Don't nobody have to support us while I go look for a job. My
right,
kids aren't going to change. Now, not only think about it, you pass away, your kids got to change schools because they got to move. They not only did they lose a parent, but they lose their friends, they lose their familiarity, they lose their surroundings, you lose everything. So why not set your family up for success to make sure that that doesn't happen? And the same thing for the wife, because men be like, oh, she ain't got no job, why does she need life insurance? You don't take care of them kids, she do.
right,
What you gonna do if she die? You're not gonna sit there and take care of them kids and go to work. Some gotta give.
right. And see,
So you have to take those things into account.
right, but then that'll take, like, that's a whole nother subject when it comes to, like, I always talk about, the independent woman of 20 whatever when Beyonce came out, and
Not
You know,
Beyonce. The women's movement was way before Beyonce, but I love her too.
what I'm saying is, all the women independent,
Single
them
lady.
spare me. You know what I'm saying? But then it's like you go, it's a two-edged sword. It's like you get see me. This is how I like to structure my relationships, and this is not the end all be all. But it's like I'm a worker, so I like going to work and providing, and I like staying home wives. I do. I do like staying home wives because they make your life easier. And they may think that they're being marginalized, but then they got to stop lumping males as men because they go like, "Oh, he's gonna hold this over my head. He's gonna, if he goes tomorrow, I'm out in the blue." First of all, why are you thinking about him leaving? That's just when I think about that, women. I just say like, and I don't want to be bashing women, but it's just like women go into a relationship waiting for it to fail, and most men go in relationships hoping it will work. That's just like the different. I swear to I can. I'm saying men, not boys.
But
Men.
you can't say women.
No, that's true. But all women aren't like that. But I'm saying some women, like out here, I'm saying like if you have that thought in your mind, saying,
But think about what you just did there. How come you could separate males from boys or males from men, but you can't separate girls from women or females from
"Oh, true,
women?
you are," but that's what I'm saying. Not all women, but I'm okay. No, if but it
Mm,
be so hard because it's I be saying women because you're right. You are absolutely correct. But it's like it's always in the back of all females' minds. Like he's gonna fuck up. He's gonna leave me. Girl or woman. Sometimes their insecurities overweigh like the good thing that they have. Like I've been in relationships where it was like I work every day and they have access to all the here's the thing. If they gave paper checks out, I want to go to work every day, get paid on Friday, and hand my girl the check. Make sure the lights will be turned off. So you got the bag. That's what I'm saying. When in that dynamic, you got the bag. If I left you tomorrow, you could change every password on every account. You can rob me. That's how invested I am. That's how
I'm not gonna.
invested I am in some relationships, whatever. But then I dated somebody. They was just like they left, and then they was like out on their own. They was like, "Boy, I fucked up. I don't like paying these bills." You know what I'm saying? Like I had it straight, but I wanted to work so bad and I wanted to do so much and be 50-50 or do my part when you were doing your part. Making my life easier was doing your part and I appreciated it.
Hmm.
Y'all work 12, 14 hours and I ain't got to come home and mop the floor. That makes my day.
I can't.
And you get the check. I'm not
I'm
doing
gonna tell you
nothing.
right now. I can tell you right now. I'm single, right? I've been in relationships. I've since been out of them all, right? What I can say is I've never went into a relationship thinking it was gonna fail. I have seen signs of somebody's tendencies and known a relationship wasn't gonna work. You see red flags, you see signs. I've known, right? You either continue to mess with them. That's look, situationships are out here and they're real. You either continue to mess with them or
Right.
you don't, right? But people go in and they know that something is not going to work. That's where that comes from because they've already seen all the red signs. They know who they are. They know how what they carry and what they bring into the table does not mix with what you got. So they know themselves too. It ain't always about you or the man. But what I can say is with my ex-husband, that was our scenario. I was a stay-at-home
Mhm.
wife. I handled all the bills. I handled all the money. He got a portion of the money because he didn't know how to act when it came to money, and I'm better with it. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? So that's just the way that went. Now, the thing is, me paying all these bills or not, I work,
Right. Right.
but in a relationship, I am a helpmate. What do
Right.
you need to get done? I got your back.
Right. And Joy, I do
Now, I'm not going to take everything that you do just because you
right.
make the money because I can go out and make my own.
Right. Let me answer this comment. Yes, you are absolutely correct. You guys do need outside interaction and things like that. I'm all for it, but I'm just like I'm gonna say this. When it did come, it's like, I want to get a job. I'm like, go get a job. But then as soon as they come home, this is my line. I could call my ex-wife, my son's mother, and the girl I dated here who lived with me. They
Hmm.
come home. I'm sick of these motherfuckers. Brenda gonna make me slap the shit out of her. I be so calm. I be like, quit. If it's stressing you
Now,
out,
you
quit.
know what? I'm gonna tell you this. Anybody who knew me pre-divorce, right? Not too many people because I've kind of changed my surroundings and my circles.
Right,
Anybody who knew me, my family even. Have you ever seen Everybody Hates Chris?
right.
You know the mom? I don't
Yeah,
need this. My man got two jobs.
I could be
If
gone.
that wasn't me, okay?
Yeah,
I was with my ex-husband from 19 to 31, and I would leave a job if somebody breathed on me too hard. And I'd be like, no, I don't need to be here. I'm here because I'm bored.
yeah.
Bye. They'd be like, you not finna quit? Who not finna quit? You don't know me? I'm out. I'll go find something else to do. I'm here because I'm bored and I want a friend. Okay. That's
Right,
literally why I went to work.
right.
So
That's my
I
ex.
just I just needed something to do. And
Right.
so you definitely have that side of it. You definitely do. But the thing is, I have the background to just up and get another job. Do you know what I'm saying? I could just go somewhere else. I can do something else. I always have that because my resume is nice. So it's just, you got to have that part too. Because she'll be out there struggling. You can't trust, you really can't put all of your trust into the other person, which it brings it right back to life insurance, right? You can't put your trust back like all into one person because at the end of the day, think about it. Things change, people change. The only thing guaranteed is change.
Right.
So it may not work out, but you still have to make sure that everybody is straight at the end of the day. And that's what it does. It just provides that stability and that safeness and that safety net because you don't know what's going to happen.
Right. Right. Right.
You really don't.
So is there set denominations of policies? 10 grand, 15 grand, 20 grand, so forth and so. I'm like, is it because like ain't nobody finna get one for $4,500 or some random number like 4350.
A final expense. It covers the funeral. Nobody 40
Uh,
funerals about $10,000. So it has to at least cover the funeral, right?
all right, all right,
It
cool.
has to cover the funeral. A funeral costs 10 grand, right? We're just going to put it there. Yes, you can probably get cremated for about 7-ish, but it's pretty much 10 grand, right? Like it costs a good amount. Now, once you start there at your base, then that's when it goes to the random numbers because we all gonna die, we all gonna have a funeral. That is stable.
Right,
But my bills don't look like your bills. My income don't look like your income. My debt don't look like your debt.
right,
So our policies are never going to be the same. It's going to vary depending on what you need. And then it's also going to vary depending on what you qualify for because you could be looking to get a policy and you're like, I want $1 million policy. Look, right what I was about to say, the amount of sometimes based on the health and what the person wants as well. The
right.
health, you might not qualify for that much because they're like, wait a minute,
You gotta qualify for $1 million.
you have to
You
qualify.
you just can't go out and get $1 million policy.
You cannot. You have to qualify, which is why I say the younger you start, the better. Because how many health problems do you have when you're born unless you were born with a problem? That's very rare. You know what I'm saying? It's not very rare. I had premature kids. I had kids with health problems, but it's rare that a child is born and not able to be covered for whatever reason. Do you know what I'm saying? That's not the everyday.
Right,
For the
right,
most part, you can cover your child starting at 14 days old.
right.
So like why not?
True.
It ain't going to cost you nothing.
Right. Because it's like, I'll say this, it's like when I say when people die around me, and especially if they're older or if they're going through some things and they pass, I'm not
Mhm.
selfish enough to say I wish they were here because they don't have to suffer no more, no more
Yeah,
medical,
they
no
live
more
their life.
to no more pain and no more hurting and things like that. So I'll be like unselfishly be like, man, they lived a great life and now they're living a better life. But
Right.
like when you just like you said, when you it's like crazy, like soon as you have a baby, 14 days, life insurance. It's gonna be some ignorant person gonna be like, why are you getting
Cremation was
so young?
10K for her grandma. That's crazy. See?
Damn. But it's like, why are you doing it so soon? And then when I worked downtown at the Social Security office, man, them people wouldn't be cold in the ground yet, and they looking for death certificates, survivors benefits, and what we gonna do with this last check. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, golly.
Because you think about it, just because your life stopped, the world didn't. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? Everything still keep pushing, bills still coming, everything is still happening. And now, on top of all of that, you left your family with all your debt and your problems and your stuff that they got to straighten out.
right,
And I can tell you right now, when I realized that money is not a private thing. Money is a tool. Everybody, oh, I can't let nobody know how much money I make. Nah, you don't need to be in my business. Nah, you don't need my information. Well, I don't want to buy it. Look, even if you write all your passwords and all your information down on a book and put that mess in a safe somewhere and let one person know where it's at and how to get to it, somebody needs to know how to access all your stuff. Somebody needs to know how to get in all your business because you're just leaving debt to your kids when everybody is out here hollering generational wealth right now, right? That's super popular buzzword, generational wealth, generational wealth. But what are you doing to actually secure it?
right,
You got to secure that. Like it's not something that just is going to fall in your lap. And it's not even something that you can necessarily just work hard and do on your own. You have to invest in things that put you on the right side of interest. You want the interest to not be taking you in deeper into debt. You want the interest to be rising in your favor to make sure that your family has money.
right. Man, I really wanted $1 million policy. I hope I qualify.
I'll get you a quote. I got you back.
All right, for sure. But being that it's never I'm gonna say it's never too late. But
Mm.
being that I'm 40, is something you pay? I don't know. I don't be knowing because people got policies on me. I don't know who paying for them. Is it monthly or annually?
You can have monthly, you can have quarterly, and you can have annually. You can have I want to say you can do a bi-weekly one. I can't, I've
I ain't
never seen that one done, but
about
monthly, I pay my policies quarterly, right? I have a problem with monthly bills. I'm not gonna lie. I don't like it. If I can pay for something flat out in full, I'm gonna do it. If I can pay
right,
for something quarterly, I'll just pay the bigger price because there's something about seeing somebody take my money every month that just don't sit right with me.
right,
Okay, like I don't like it. So I don't do monthly payments, but I mean they're there. You can do it monthly. You can do it however, whatever works for your pocket. Like for instance, my kids had a whole life policy. It was like $6 a month, right? I could pay that for the year. It's not a problem.
right, right.
Right.
Man, I hope I can get me a $6 policy.
You're not a child, homie. You're not a child.
The lady
We need
Cajun said it's been 5 months since her husband passed. She still ain't got everything done.
My goodness. I'm so sorry to hear that.
I've never like I didn't have with my mom. I didn't have to deal with that. With my grandma, I didn't have to deal with that. So I have not have to deal. I haven't had to deal with paying for a funeral. I don't know. I wouldn't know what to do.
You know what though? And life insurance is so much more than death. Like people don't understand that life insurance is not just about death of a death benefit anymore. Life insurance covers you. They have what's called living benefits now and accelerated benefit riders. And what that means is, say for I had a client, right? I had a client that passed away recently this year. And I remember last year towards the end of the year, I had got an email that they were trying to use their living benefits. And what the living benefits for their policy that they had is when, say, you get terminal cancer, doctor
Right,
says you have so many days to live. Now
right,
you can get up to 80% of your death benefit while you're still alive to live your life. Nobody's going to tell you how to spend that money. Nobody's going to tell you what to do with that money. You do what you want to do. Say you need to pay doctor's bills, pay those bills. Say you want to take your family on one last, let's go to Disneyland, let's go out the country, let's do it big because I want this to be how you remember me. You can do that too. They keep the 20% in there though, so that you can still be buried when you pass.
right,
But you can use that money as you please. That money is for you because people don't really know the number one reason for debt in the US is medical bills.
right,
That's the number one reason for bankruptcy. Medical bills. They can't afford to pay them because it's just so much. And look, $20 for each of her two kids. It's not expensive. You have to go by what your income is. You can't look at somebody else and say, I want what they have. You're not them. Everybody's is going to be an individual policy. It's going to be based off of you, what you can afford.
right. So when you do the living, you have to have paid in over some time.
No,
Well,
no, no, sir.
Don't tell us that.
No, sir.
You
If
give
you get a
you telling me
policy
something
and
I
you've paid
never knew.
your policy is active, you've paid a couple of policies, the only thing that does not hit right away is suicide. If you get a policy today and you commit suicide, what I want to say it's 2 years. I want to
Mhm.
say it's 2 years. After that, okay, but you can't be planning to kill yourself just to take care of your family because you feel like it'll be better for them.
Right. Some people do that. I've
That's
seen.
why that clause is in there.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
They've done it. You know what I'm saying? I
Man.
mean, there's reasons for everything. You have you seen the with the soda machine? Don't kick it, don't push it, whatever, because it's fell on somebody before. Somebody did it.
Right.
There's a reason for everything.
But you know what's so crazy about that situation is that, and what's so dumb in our society is that even though they have those warnings, you can still sue the company. That's dumb
Yeah.
as well.
Well, life insurance, they just be like, I'm sorry, we can't help you. It's cold business, but I mean, you need it. You know what I mean? It's you need it. It's
Yeah.
definitely something that is, it's going to put you in a better situation than a bad one. I can say that. And they
Man.
have policies. For instance, say you're you're financially not able to get something that's permanent right now, right? Say
Right.
you're like, you know what? I want to get insurance. I just don't have the money right now. And I kind of need to do whatever I can to just get covered right now because people are covered through their jobs. People are covered through the banks. You know what I'm saying? But if this pandemic didn't teach you nothing, your job has no loyalty to you.
Right.
Your job does not have to keep you. If you lose your job, you just lost your coverage. Now you're out here looking for a policy and you're older and it's more expensive. Like,
Damn.
why wouldn't you just get a private policy? I'm not saying don't get the one through the job. They're like $2, right? Get it. Get the policy through the job. It doesn't cost much, but you have to be willing to invest in yourself. You can't just be thinking about, when I take a picture, I want people to know what I got. You know what I'm saying? When I pull my phone out, I want people to see these three, whatever. Cover your life for real, for real. Don't just be out here flexing
Yeah.
because you want to make sure that at the end of the day you're taken care of. I have a perfect example. There were some people, and I'm not going to say who it was because I'm not like that, right? It's a
I
business.
can still hear you. Keep talking. I
Professionalism.
can still hear you. Keep talking. I can still hear you.
Okay, so professionalism, but I know of a family. Talk to the family. One of the agents that were in the company with us talked to the family about life insurance. The guy felt like they didn't need to keep it after they got it because he ran a business. He made a whole lot of money, which he did. Always throwing parties, always buying stuff, always doing something to their home, making it bigger, better because they wanted to make sure that it was going to be, profitable for them when they decided to move up or move out or whatever the case may be. And they were killing it financially. They had a lot, man. I'm telling you, they were always giving out things like just, I got money, throwing it. They did not, he was like, I got life insurance, but he didn't have living benefits in his policy.
Mm-hmm.
And he got sick. He got sick. He got really, really sick, but he didn't die. He had to
Right.
move out of his house. His family had to pick up everything. He lost his business. He had to move in with his family. He had to give it all up because he just wasn't prepared. And everybody thinks that they're the Titanic until they sink. You got to cover yourself.
Man, that's great. Man, I should have had this episode a long time ago because I'm learning a lot. I did not know anything. I just thought life insurance was you pay into something and when you die, they pay out. I
Right.
did.
They
I
do
didn't.
take forever to pay out at your job because they have to go through all like types of red tape and all this stuff. But if you
Right.
have a private policy, they just need your certificate of death, the original certificate of death, and then there's some forms you have to sign. And
Man,
you usually get your check within like a, a week after you give that information, if that. So it's pretty quick.
man, I'm learning a lot. I research so much, and I'm not a reader, which I'm an audible learner, so I have to visual and audio. That's why I watch podcasts,
Same.
and I anything that if it's quick and it catches me, I'm like, oh, let me go dive deep, and then you go down there, you be looking, like, oh shit,
I'm
I
a
ain't know.
panic learner. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm a panic learner. If I need to know something, I'll go cram real fast, learn it all like in 10 minutes, and then I'm good. But I'm a
Uh-huh.
I'm a panic learner. So I don't do reading books either.
Right. Because I like to listen and here's the thing. You can get information from an idiot. You can get information from someone who you think does not have it all together. A homeless person could probably give you the best advice on living. because they've been through so much and going through so much. And sometimes, sometimes being homeless is, I don't want to sound like Kanye, but I'm pro Kanye. But
I love
sometimes,
Kanye.
sometimes being homeless is a choice. There's people who don't want to live on the grid.
My brother was homeless by choice. He didn't want to listen to nobody. He said he
Right.
didn't want nobody in his business. He'd rather be on the streets because he was living his life. He was doing his dirt. He didn't want to live with nobody. So that's true.
Everybody who's in the street doesn't have
He's
a
not
mental
homeless no more. But
illness,
yeah.
doesn't have a substance abuse problem. Sometimes they just don't want to. They don't want to do. They don't want to. I'm gonna do this.
No, I think they have whole YouTube channels on it, man. Like people living out their car because they just want to save money.
Right.
They don't want to. They look. I go to the gym and shower. I do that. They have their whole day, and they are completely okay. I don't. I don't know that life. Okay, I don't live that life, but I've seen it. I've
Right.
seen it,
I,
so I know
I'm
what
a,
you mean.
I had misjudged the guy, and he was disheveled. He would come to the Social Security office, and he couldn't. He was non audible, and I think he was hard of hearing, but he wasn't deaf. But he would come to the office. He would smell like alcohol,
Right.
but he wasn't a drunk. His medication through his pores came
Mm.
off as an alcohol. You would think he was drunk, but his medication had him like that. He was not
Right.
homeless, but you would just think he was. So I just be like, every time I see, and like you look, and I don't have an opinion on him, but I just be like, yeah, but I'll listen to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because
You have to, and you have to offer to everybody. That's something that I learned because in the beginning, like how you said when we first got started, you said that everything triggers you, right?
right,
I was that.
right,
Everything triggered me. I would be going off. They would laugh at me in the office all the time because I'd be like, they don't want to listen. I'm blocking. They just don't understand this is important because I'm so passionate. Do you
right,
know what I'm saying? I'm so passionate about it. And I just want people to succeed. I want to see people at their best. I love that. That's when I flourish the most, when I'm around people who are doing the best. And I love that. So it would make me so mad that they would not just do what they were supposed to do for themselves,
right,
right?
right,
Because you can't help nobody for them. So
right.
it would just make me so mad. But what I had to understand is that everybody ain't ready to receive what you're giving. You know what I'm
True.
saying? Everybody ain't ready to receive it, and it's not their time. Everything doesn't happen in my timing. It happens in God's timing. It don't happen when I say happen. They
Right,
not finna hear it because I said listen. They're gonna hear it when it's ready for them to hear it. And my hope and my prayer for people is that by the time they're ready to receive it, it's still an option for them. Because you don't know how many people that I've sat down with. This is what got me. And this is when I was really just in my, like, I just started and I was just so gung ho. I was calling everybody I went to high school with. Talked to a girl, no lie. Called her. Hey, I want to talk to you about what I'm doing. It's new. I just think it's really important. We should sit down. We should have a conversation. Blah blah blah. I gotta work. I'm busy. I gotta work. I'm busy. This ain't for me. It's not really. I don't really need it. My job. I'm good. I'm good. What happened to her? A week after we had a conversation, I was supposed to call her up to follow up with her, and I wrote it off. Right? Because I have my weekly follow-ups. I call people on rotation. Call a girl to get with her, no answer. Messaged her, no answer. 3 days later, went on her Facebook page. Her mom said, "Hey, I know everybody's been reaching out to so and so. I just want to let you know, unfortunately, she just passed away in a car accident 3 days ago, and we haven't been able to get to let everybody know. So we thought that this would be the best way after we let family know to let everybody else know that she's no longer with us. She just had a baby. Her baby daddy was not in her life. He was tripping in and out, doing whatever people do.
right.
And now they got this newborn, literally like a couple months old. This newborn, and the mom is gone. And I didn't call her back. That sat with me for a minute. That
Right.
sat with me for a minute. I was sick about that one. But then I had to realize, as it happened more and more throughout my career with this, that I gave her the information.
Right.
I can't make her sign up. I can't make her take it. I can't make people do things. So now I'm at peace with it to where I just need to let everybody know. And then do follow up with people for real, because I can't be in my feelings when they say no. They're not saying no to me. They're
Right.
saying no because they don't see that it fits their life at this time. And I haven't given them enough value and enough information and presented it in the right way for them to receive it. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't take it personal anymore. And that's when it just got a lot calmer for me. And I wasn't like all, let's
Yeah.
go, let's go, let's go. It got a little bit calmer.
But you know what kills me and people in circles that I have, because like I said, I'm just angry. I'm a very nice person, but I'm very angry. It's like
I know this.
when you put information out to people, and then they come back to you like they came up with it.
Exactly. Plant the
I'm like,
seed.
I told you this 6 months ago,
Oh,
man.
people do it to me all the time. People do it to me all the time. You don't think people do it to me? People will sit up there and this is the funny part, right? And I'm not just saying this because you on my page, so you follow me.
Yeah.
People will tell me all the time, oh, well, you're so pretty. You're so pretty. You're so pretty. And then act like I didn't say nothing of value. I
Right.
didn't just say nothing important. And then
Yeah.
they will come back and tell me what they learned from me, like they're giving me information. I'm like, I'll just go, oh, wow, I'm so glad. I just go with them. I just let people have their moment because it ain't about me. I know what I put out there. I
I
let them
don't,
have it.
I don't let them have their moment.
I
I,
do. I just
I,
let, it's not that deep for
like,
me. I just let them have it.
bruh, the most frivolous thing that pissed me off, and it things reverberate in my head.
Not reverberate. Go ahead.
Is that a word?
I mean, I believe you if it is. I'm not up on it.
We were talking about dogs
Okay.
because I'm a pit bull owner, and we're talking about dogs, and we're talking about the stigma of dogs. And I said this one line, and I said, "You can teach a Chihuahua how to be a killer." And about 4 months later, we were talking about something else, and then he said what I said, "Bro, you're not finna just take that like you mean.
No.
You're not gonna do that."
I
That
learned from my mom a long time
killed
ago. My
me.
mom's from the South. If you ain't never been around a Southern woman, you don't know slight shade, right? They got the most slight shade. They got shade for everything, right? My mom's favorite thing for that is when somebody tells you something that you already said, just it sounds better when you say it, huh? I already said it.
That sounds like something your mama would say.
It
I
sounds better
swear.
when you say it.
I met
It's
your mama.
she
I
say
met
it
your
all the
mama
time.
one time. I met
She
her one
say it all
time.
the time. If
I
I
met.
go back and tell my mom something she knows she told me, she'd be like, "Oh, it sounds better when you say it, huh?" You know what? You did tell me that. You right.
Bruh, that should be killing me, man. Bruh, I learned so much. I know I probably got 100 more questions. What do I want to? What question I want to ask? So if someone wanted to start a policy with let's you or anyone else,
hmm
what things are pertinent to get started?
What do you mean? As far as what things? Like in what
Like
capacity?
I'm saying, like if somebody goes, if you know you have you may have I don't know I'm off the fly, guys.
I'm listening.
But for the listeners, I want to let them know we did not do any pre-production. This is my question. I'm sure you have a checklist of when someone says, Sharice, I want to learn, I want to know what
Oh.
I want to do. So what would you want them to bring to you to get started?
So the first thing that you need if you're gonna sit down, the first visit, you really don't need much because the first visit is just information,
Mhm.
right? It only time you're the only I'm not going to speak for myself as an agent. I'm not going to speak for anybody else. The
Right,
only time I will sit down in the first visit and write a policy and have it all signed for someone is if they are getting an annuity and we're just transferring funds.
right.
You're doing a rollover, right? Or you're putting money into an annuity. I'll do that first time sit down. We can lock that in. Even then, actually, no, because you need too much. There's only one time. The only time that you will do that is if it's a term policy, a basic term, because it's 10 years, this $100,000, $50 a month. Is that what you want? That's what I want. Cool. Sign it. We're out. Right. Anything other than that, you need to have a financial analysis. You need to be shopping around for quotes. You need to be talking to people about medical history. You got to wait for MVRs to come back. So the first time you sit down, it should really only be a conversation about what are your bills looking like. And we go off of how you get your the most basic way to figure out how to get a death benefit for yourself is this thing called DIME, right? DIME, DIME. What is your debt? What is your income? What is your mortgage or slash rent if you don't have mortgage? And do you want to leave a fund for someone like education? Look, you talking about my lighting. Look at you. That's what happened. Look at God.
Wait, I thought the lights went out.
Look at God.
You saw
Y'all,
me
he was talking
scream,
about me. This is what
man. What
he
the
was talking about me and my lighting, telling me my lighting wasn't good. And look at you. See?
I
Look
was
how God
bored.
works. Come through, Jesus.
Come
Come through.
home.
Mm-mm.
I can still hear you. Go ahead.
Well, why are you getting that together? But no. And do you want to leave an education fund or a legacy for someone? So basically, like, let's just say my debt is $10,000, right? My income is $70,000 a year. And my king got scared, but he did. You saw his face. My
I thought I was in the dark.
I can't even because you did. So like say your debt is about 10,000, your income is like 70,000 a year or whatever. You have your mortgage is $100,000 home, right? Let's just basic. I'm just throwing numbers out there. And then you want to leave. I want to send both of my kids to college, right? And
Right.
so I want to leave money for that. So I can look up a 4-year college that's out of state because my oldest son wants out of state, like we already know, and how much that's going to cost for 4 years. Add all that up, and that's what you need to be covered for.
Right.
Right. So say that comes up to like $200,000-$300,000. Get you a $200,000-$300,000 policy. Now we're going to look at your income situation, like break it down. What bills are you paying? What is your income that's left over? And how much of that should you put towards life insurance? And what the answer to that is a third, right? You're going to break your income down to 3 parts. And I'm talking about what's left over, not once you have your bills, all that goes first, right? You need to cover your expenses first. That's important. Don't ever pull from your bill money unless you can get rid of a bill. Right now, I'm gonna just be real. Netflix or life insurance, I pick life insurance, but some
Right.
people don't. I'm not everybody. So you can kind of get rid of some bills if it's cutting a little close and you're shorter on cash. But for the most part, let's just say, for instance, you have $1,000 a month left over, right? After everything is said and done, all your bills are paid, you rocking with 1,000. You're gonna put a third of that into savings. You're gonna put a third of that into fun because you want to do stuff.
Right.
You don't need to just if all of your money is going towards important things, then you start getting resentful. And then you cancel your policies. Then you don't want to do stuff because you're like, well, all my money is going to this. I could have went out with my friends, but I'm broke now because of this. It's not worth it. You know what I mean? The satisfaction part of your brain is like, nah, I'm not cool with this. So
We
you
gotta
need
get
some money for fun. And then a third of it can go to life insurance. And that money can be split up however you would like it to however many policies for your family you need. It doesn't have to be a third per person. It's a third total. You take that third and like, let's just say it's $300 and some three and something, right? You could have $50 policies for the kids, $100, whatever you need to break it up to. We figure it out for you. And then we come back to you with the plan. You look those numbers over, come back again and say, okay, this is what I want to do.
Yeah. Man. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared when the lights went out.
I saw
Only
it.
thing that saved me was I saw this light still on. I'm like, what the fuck? Because they both went off at the same time. I got two of them went
I'm
off at the
telling
same
you.
time. I'm like, what the fuck?
See,
Man,
you were talking about me and my lighting.
but I can say that anybody, if anybody knows money and how to waste it, it's me. Because I tell people life is a game and they playing it better than us. Just get into the game because it's so many different ways where you can get money just going to get it.
I'm gonna
It's,
tell you right now, somebody told me something and it completely changed how I dealt with money. And I'm not even gonna lie, because I was pre-divorce straight, credit score through the roof. Married, everything was under control. I was like so focused and so diligent and so prepared.
right.
Post-divorce, I was angry. Right? I was angry. Not because I got divorced, other reasons, but I was angry. So I wasn't handling my finances right because I didn't understand how to process emotion and how to deal with that. And unfortunately, it all goes together, right? And so what I had heard, what someone told me was your bank account right now is a collection of the last 3 years of decisions you've made.
Right.
Right, whatever your bank account looked like, that's what you decided last 3 years. What you did, what you put in place is what your money is looking like right now, and that's a reflection of you. And when I thought about that, I was like, you know what, there is no reason that I should be a grown woman who doesn't have access to $1,000 if I need it. There's no reason. There's no reason I should be sitting here looking at my bank account like I can't come up with 1,000. That's too much. It might as well be 1,000,000. There's no reason for it. And
Right.
so making sure that you make smart financial decisions. And if you're not good with money, sit down with somebody who is, because I have read books. I have been to seminars. I have watched it. I have studied life insurance. Like I've literally just, this is what I did for so long.
Right.
And pre-COVID, this was all I did. Do
Right.
you know what I'm saying? Like now I got 8 million things that I do, but pre-COVID, this was it for me. And so making sure that you understand it or you talk to somebody who understands it is going to be the best thing, because you don't want to, for instance, like I said, I'm a financial specialist at USA, right? Well, contracted with them. I had a guy call today. He literally was like, hey, I just started making more money. And he was a white kid. I just started making more money. I am being reckless. I need somebody to help me learn how to adult. These were verbatim. He didn't say like, I'm calling this financial institution because I need a financial advisor and someone who's, no, he was like, I don't even know where to start. I don't know who I talk to. I don't know. But how many Black people do that?
Right.
How many
None.
Black people call and say, hey, you know what? I don't know what point A is, but somebody just point me in the right direction. You too scared. Somebody going to say something, or somebody going to make you feel some sort of way, or you can't call because you don't even know what you're calling for. You don't, just make the call. Hey, you know what? I don't know who I talk to here, but do y'all even offer that? No. Okay. Well, then let me call somebody else and figure it out, because you don't want to put yourself in a situation that you can't get out of.
Right.
And you don't want to be the person putting up a GoFundMe because you had a flat tire. Now you can't come up with $100. Like, come on now.
Hey, all them
Get
people
it
that
figured out.
went to Atlanta for All Star and got, I don't know how they got stuck. I think that was some trendy shit, and they was trying to get GoFundMe's going, but they had a lot of them.
But shoot,
I'm
it
stuck in
could.
Atlanta. I can't get home. But Henry Delgado on Facebook says we're on the Dave Ramsey plan. I'm gonna tell you this. I bought a Dave Ramsey book. It was an
Mm-hmm.
article, boring as hell. I probably got past the first 2 pages on that book, and it's still in my phone, and I ain't listened to it since. It just
Dave
didn't,
Ramsey can help you get out of debt. Dave
it,
Ramsey can help
it
you get out of debt.
didn't speak to me though. It didn't speak my language.
Yeah, but you got to find where you fit. Yeah, get in where you fit in, right? Now, the
Right.
only thing that I can say is that I don't agree with when it comes to Dave Ramsey, and this is just me now. I'm one person out of a million, so it works for some. But that whole save up and have enough money in you can save up and you can invest and you can do this to have enough money to pay for your funeral. Like, name me 5 people who did it though.
Right.
Name me 5 people who have their $500,000 in their account sitting that they don't touch because this is their funeral fund and this is their life insurance fund. Show me those people, because I guarantee you they're not me and you.
Right.
If I die today, my kids get 500,000. I don't have $500,000 sitting in my account right now. I'm not rocking like that. You know what I'm saying? So the easiest way for people who are in a lifestyle that generational wealth was not instilled and was not our foundation and it was not given to us and passed down to us is to create it. The quickest way to create it is a big lump sum of income.
Right.
That's the quickest way. And I'm not saying it's going to benefit you necessarily, but if you're talking about generational wealth, then you really need to be talking about generational wealth and knowing what that means, not just I want to be rich right now and stunt.
Right.
You have to actually be thinking about the generations after you.
I don't even want to stunt. I want to be comfortable, but it's like I'm gonna say this in the past. I've lived in San Antonio 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
I had a good job starting 2007 or eight.
Mm-hmm.
I had a good, I had a great paying job, and I learned how to, not necessarily learned. I conditioned myself to, you go in somewhere making a base salary. I always made $20,000 more than my base salary because
Okay.
I worked hard and I balanced good work and home life. So it was just like, how can you be at work every day and still have a social life and do things and go on vacations and do what I want to do when I want to do it? But I can tell you this:
Mm-hmm.
I ran through so much money to where I made great money and I was broke.
Now imagine if you, white boy today,
Mhm.
imagine if you call somebody and say, hey, I'm making all this money and I don't know why I'm broke.
Right.
I'm making all this money. I shouldn't be broke. Somebody needs to help me. I need somebody to help me be an adult. I don't know what I'm doing. And then they would have got you with somebody. You put all that money into an IUL, which is an index universal life policy. That money started making you money. Now you looking at it 10 years later and you can withdraw that for yourself. And it can be withdrawn with no taxes. It could also be withdrawn with no penalties or fees.
See, I
And you
gotta.
can just use your own money and borrow from yourself. Like, could you imagine if somebody would have sat down with you and explained an IUL to you? Like, it could have changed everything. So it just depends
Mhm.
on how you make your decisions, how you choose to like walk and live your life. And if you don't know how to do it, find someone who does. Find a life insurance agent that you trust and sit down. And I say that you trust for a reason, because anybody could read a book and get a license. Let's
Right.
just be real, right? But do you trust this person? Do they seem like they're legit? Is it somebody that you can go to and say, okay, you know what? They're not going to put me in a policy just to get them the biggest commission. They're going to put me in something that fits me and that makes sense for me. And that's one thing that had stopped me from promoting life insurance on my Facebook page so much. I don't know if you saw, like one day it just stopped,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
what stopped me is I decided that I will definitely do life insurance and I will help people because I'm passionate about it. But for me, it's the mission of making sure people are paid out and making sure people are taken care of and making sure that our communities have this wealth versus my commission check,
Right.
right? Mission over commission. Because if I can help people and I can actually get things done, I'll feel better at the end of the day versus me just having a big check, because I can make money. Like,
Yeah.
it's gonna happen. I'm gonna hustle. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna have clients. I'm gonna do things. I'm gonna go to work. Like, that is not the issue for me. But I'm passionate about this. So make sure who you're sitting down with actually cares about what they're talking about and they're not just trying to get paid off of you. And you can feel people's vibes. It's not like you can't. You can talk, you can sit down with somebody and be like, well, this isn't really making sense. And they can't explain it to you, but they just tell you it's the best plan and they don't have a reasoning behind it, or an example of why this would work for you or how this is going to benefit you. Then don't do that. Go to somebody else. There's a million life insurance agents in this world right now. Like, go to somebody else.
Right. 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 I gotta have you on again so we can talk about, like you say, setting up your life for adulting. That's gonna be the name of the the podcast. I'm gonna have you on again real soon because you telling me some stuff. I'm like, hey, when we get offline, I'm gonna have to, hey, I'm gonna have to get with you so you can
Stupid.
structure my life. Help
Call
me
me.
out,
My number
man.
is available to any and everyone. I don't have a private number.
But because this is the first time in a long time to where I've had. Now I'm still wasting money. There's no doubt. But this is the first time in a long time to where I've had money just sitting in my account.
Hmm.
At one point, I've had where all my accounts were negative because I always lived on. Oh, I get paid Friday. I'll go spend this $100 in the club. I'll go to the mall and go buy these shoes because I know I'm getting paid tomorrow, and it's going to essentially make it look good because it came right back, but it really is not because I owe
Mm-mm.
somebody else.
You know what I started doing?
What's
Like,
that?
so that doesn't happen. I don't spend money until I know where I'm making it back from, which is why I have 8,000 businesses. People laugh. My brother laughs at me all the time. He's like, "What we on, Sharice?" No, well, he doesn't call me Sharice, but he's like, "What we on, Reese? We on number 10. How many businesses you got now? What you doing?" But the thing is, every business ain't getting business every day, right?
That's a fact.
I'm not
Especially
making a flyer
during the
every
pandemic,
day.
it was like you guys. I the thing is, people tell me they call me hustle man, but it's just like I do this. I sell crawfish. I have waist trainers. I have sunglasses. I have
You know I do 8 million things.
That's how me and you got cool or whatever. Because it was just
Yeah.
like I don't even know. Like I told you, I don't know where we met and how we became friends. But it was like crawfish. Then I saw you with the barbecue, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm helping him too." And I'm like, "Well, shit, what the hell you do?" And we talked.
Business plans. I write business plans for people.
Yeah,
I sat down with him and
like,
made a business plan,
yeah, you
helped
do
him get
that.
his business started and up and running. I I have a gourmet brownie business. I bake. I make flyers, promotional flyers for
You
people.
made two for me.
Look, if I don't know how I do hair, okay. If I don't know how to do something, I'm gonna figure out how to do it. Shoot,
Right.
a girl posted on Facebook the other day talking about I need somebody to come clean my apartment. Well, you know what, sis? I know how to clean. I've been here before. I'll clean your apartment. I bet you I got paid.
Right.
So I hustle. I work. I don't have something that's beneath me. I work.
Cause it's like, but like you said, it's like so many different things. Like people don't even know what you do, what I do. But you just even if you have it and you're not pushing it, have it in your back pocket.
Yo, look, I sell Mary Kay, right? Look,
Yeah,
another I sell Mary Kay.
yeah.
I posted my thing on a page one day, and the girl was like, do y'all have Skin So Soft? Skin So Soft is Avon, right? And I was like, Mary Kay doesn't have Skin So Soft, but Sharice, the Avon representative, does. Let me send you my link.
Right.
And I just straight up sent her the link. Get out. Okay, I'll be in there. Sorry, I'm still a mom and I do that, right? So there's all of that, right? But I for sure, like, I'm not against nothing. My brother was like, don't Mary Kay and Avon got beef. It ain't my beef. I'm with both of them. Who you
Yeah,
want
yeah,
today?
yeah,
Because
yeah,
I
yeah.
can do whatever you want. I got it. So you got to have hustles. You got to have a way to earn the money you're saying you want, and you got to have a way to replenish. Because I like to buy stuff.
Right.
Hair is
Chrissy,
not cheap.
Chrissy on Facebook talking about I introduced y'all. I don't remember that.
Hey, Chrissy, that's my girl. I love Chrissy.
I don't remember that. That was last crawfish season, last summer.
Yeah.
I don't know shit.
I think I do remember it because I love crawfish. My family's from Mobile
Oh,
in the
you
Gulf.
were the only one that came and knocked on the door. I'm like, hey,
Because I wasn't finna sit there forever. I'm impatient.
who coming? You didn't even tell me you were there. I'm like,
No, I did. You didn't check your phone yet, and I don't like waiting. I'm not a waiter, okay?
I was
But
I
this is the
was
thing. I'm working
working.
on me. I'm working on me, right? I'm not there anymore. I'm more patient than I used to be. But when you
Yeah,
met
yeah.
me, I was in a hurry up. I got things to do.
I cracked the door. Hey, what you got? What you need? Who you? Oh, Sharif. I'm gonna be right out there.
Mm-mm.
No, man, man. This was a great, informative podcast.
Well,
Thank you
thank
for
you for having me
coming.
on.
Thank you for coming and dropping them gems. And you are knowledgeable.
A
And
little bit, you know.
hopefully, you can come back and help us with our adulting. But this was a great show. I'm really pleased with it.
I'm glad. I'm glad. I'm glad I was able to give some value.
Is there anything you want to plug?
Right now I'm rocking with Mary Kay. Like, look, the skin. Okay, I have really been rocking with that. I'm almost to my first car, so I am just working on that. And we got beard oils, so I'm waiting on it to come in. But then I'm gonna get at you
I need that.
because we have men's lines for Father's Day. Y'all want to get your man something? We got whole facial sets. I just gave it to my brother as a gift, and he said he loves it. So we got all that stuff going on, and I'm really rocking on the Mary Kay right now. Of course, life insurance, you know what I mean? That never goes away. And I do everything that I can, even if I'm not making money from it at the moment, like I'm not writing policies, I still keep all my licenses active because it's so important. So that's always an option. But right now I'm really doing Mary Kay because it's just I want a free car. Like, why not? Right? If you can get a free car, why not get one?
Does it have to be pink?
No, that's actually the highest level. The first car is just a regular old Chevy. But you get 80% of your car insurance paid too. So I'm
I
here for the benefits, you know?
I was with a company that did that. They were giving out BMWs. I never got that
That's
far.
what's up. See, I'm almost there. I just got a little bit more to go. So I'm working on that right now. So if you would like skin classes information or anything, and I use it, I don't just talk about it. I actually use Mary Kay every single day. And I have sensitive skin, psoriasis, all that good stuff. And I've been able to use their most natural set. I can't use all their fancy stuff. It doesn't agree with me, but I can use it. So we got something for everybody.
For sure, man. You know me, Mr. BR Crawfish, Mr. Straight Drop, no sauce. I took a little hiatus for my mental, but I will be back real soon with more things on the menu. But this has been another episode of Here's the thing. This is on my main page. Maybe I'm tripping. And my other co-host is in here. But I'm trying to cross platform. But if you're not subscribed to Small Black Businesses, please go find us on YouTube and please go subscribe. If you like what you see on Maybe I'm Tripping, we talk about a little bit of everything, relationships, current events, sports, games. We just be on here goofing off, man. Go to Maybe I'm Tripping on YouTube. You'll find me there. Please go subscribe, share, like. If you're a gamer, we're on Twitch. Maybe I'm Tripping on Twitch. It's Maybe I'm Tripping or Maybe I'm Tripping podcast, Instagram. what's the other thing? Twitter. I don't tweet.
I don't have a Twitter.
Twitter is too
I
much.
don't
I
tweet.
was thinking them emails, man.
I feel like I'm too old for all that. I don't have that
Right,
energy.
right. But thank you guys for everybody that stopped by on Facebook. If you're on Facebook and you're commenting, please go subscribe to either. Well, go subscribe to Maybe I'm Tripping because this is my main page. This is where I reach more people, and you will get your comment on the screen, and we don't have to keep looking down at the phone to see you. But this has been another episode of Small Black Business by way of Maybe I'm Tripping on YouTube. Peace out.
Good night.